We can do that. Welcome back, everybody. Glad you came back to join us for week number 2. Hope everybody's enjoying our 2018 Riesling.
Delicious.
It's off dry. It's a 1.8% residual sugar, so it's not super sweet, but it's not completely dry. Pairs really, really nice with a spicy, tangy meal, which Rondi came up with this wing recipe, and we tried it last weekend, I think it was. Really liked it and decided, let's do it. So we stuck with this recipe. We just opened our doors, the tasting room, about a year ago now. So we haven't been in business super long. We're the newest winery down here in Zilla, and I think by far the youngest winemakers down here in Zilla. So that's been a fun experience and a fun adventure. We're rocking and rolling and having a good time. So we primarily focus on reds. I'm not usually a white wine drinker. Allison is branching into reds now, but is my go-to white wine taster. So we have, let's see, what do we end up doing? We did 4 reds this year and 3 whites, sorry. We have a Pinot Gris, Semillon, and a Muscat that we did. Muscat is another off dry. The Semillon is it's going to be like between a Sauvignon Blanc and maybe a Chardonnay. So you get some really nice fruitiness. And the Muscat, like I said, is an off dry. So we're excited for that. We're rocking and rolling, ready for Harvest 2020 to come up this fall.
Cool. I don't know why it says my video ended on Facebook. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it didn't. I'm still trying to work through some of these things that happened. But anyway, so what did you guys think of? Oh, hi! I can see some chatting here on Facebook. I hope the video. Those of you that are chatting on Facebook, will you tell me if it's still feeding a live feed onto my Facebook, or is it done now? Did my video get cut off? Or is it still live?
It's going, Rondi.
Is it? Because it says it ended on my end.
It did, and then I clicked on it again, and I'm watching you right now.
Okay, yay. Okay, good.
It does seem to be several seconds behind.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, between teaching and this, I've really been spending some time online learning.
Yes. Yes.
And I've got my guru on the Zoom meetup with me tonight here. I've got Ann Chapman. Yeah, I think she's still here. Ann, are you here?
Yep.
Okay. I can't see. Maybe it's my grid of people is limited on the side here. I need to learn how to do my view a little better. Anyway, what did you guys think of the
okay, you're back.
Chicken wing recipe I gave you?
Rondi, it was wonderful. I did not use the chicken wings. That's not one of my favorite cuts of the chicken. So I took just a chicken breast and used the same marinade, and the chicken is so moist and delicious. And you're right, not spicy, but spiced. And my sister and I pickled some asparagus today, so that it hasn't gone through the year cycle of being pickled, but it's still a really good taste. So that was really, I thought, and really good. And I served some bread alongside of it, so really good. And the wine is delicious. Thank you so much. Everything is really very good together.
I did the same thing. I didn't do the wings because I don't really like mine with bones. We did it kind of like chicken.
But the wings are really good too.
Yeah. I heated them up. So love this wine. This is right up my alley.
Approve.
It's very good. Where can you get this in town, or do you have to only get it through your winery?
No, we do not. We are not in distribution right now. We're hoping in the next year or so to be able to have enough inventory to where we can actually get into distribution. So I think
We are offering free shipping though.
Yeah, we do offer free shipping. But I'm trying to remember, I know, is it the Public House? They usually have most of our wines that are out in West Valley.
Okay, yeah, we're not too far from there.
But I'm trying to remember if they have our Riesling or not.
The other thing is,
It's,
even though Joesph is in Zilla, his mom and dad are on the Zoom chat here, Steve and Alice, and they live very close to all of you out where I live, out in the West Valley, part of Yakima, and Alice is really nice about delivering. So if you want to order some wine, Joesph or Alice, I know, would be more than glad to do it. And if not them, I'll do it. So yeah. I got this recipe. I didn't create this recipe. I used to subscribe to Gourmet Magazine, and I found it through there, and it was just kind of like, it's not breaded and deep fried and all that. Like, I get kind of disappointed when I'm going to go do any kind of chicken wings anywhere, because they always they have the breading and they have the deep fry, and then they've got the sauce on top of it, and I just would prefer to not have all that breading. I'd rather just have the chicken and then the marinade. So for those who are not eating the chicken, it has cumin, and it has paprika. And what else does it? Cumin. What am I missing?
Curry.
Oh, curry. There's some curry in it, and then I put some white pepper in the dry mix to wrap around the chicken, and then you bake it. There's a little bit of fussing around with so many minutes, and then you turn it, but you end up pouring a white vinegar over the top of the chicken wing, and then the last part of the turning over of the chicken, you end up putting Worcestershire sauce, and I put white wine vinegar instead of just white vinegar, and I like it better that way, personally. So I think this is one of those recipes you could just kind of play around with. I think it goes really well with either a rosé or a white wine.
Mm-hmm. Delicious.
Yeah.
Rondi, I messed up and we ran out of cumin, and so we ended up substituting that for chili powder.
Yeah.
And that added a nice spice to it.
Yeah, you can play around with whatever you want to do, with what you rub the chicken wings. But I think the vinegar Worcestershire sauce thing really works. It's a little messy, so I always line the pan with tinfoil, and and a lot of Pam, spray it really, really well, and then put the chicken in and cook it at the end. Then you put the vinegar mixture over the top. I just thought it was kind of unusual. I try to find something that's a little bit different. Last week we had olive tamponade with Joe's Syrah, and we all real huge thumbs up on that. We thought
delicious.
Wow. So yeah, just keep in mind, kind of watching what I do. The way this works is you just indicate that you're interested in joining us. I'm kind of lazy about on my actual paid webpage posting everything all the time, because it's more cumbersome to get in and out compared to Facebook and things. But I've posted on there the wineries that we will be featuring in the future, and I've got kind of booked up through the middle of June now with wineries and more interest of some others. So I think, as long as we don't have a vaccine and we're all trying to be really good about social distancing, I think this is a fun alternative that I have found. I just didn't know how to do a wine tasting. I mean, how do you have 5 open bottles of wine at everybody's house? I mean, that's a little too much, And so I kept problem solving how to, make this really work. And I thought, well, why don't we just feature 1 bottle of wine that we all share? And then if we don't finish it, you can put it in the fridge and save it for the next few days, which is what I'll do. And if I drink this whole bottle of wine, it's going to be an interesting Zoom party. Yeah. So is there anyone who's done something kind of interesting this week besides staying inside? I guess I could start and say, I got a dog. I got this really cool dog. She's not in here on purpose because she would demand my attention and be nosing me and stuff like that. So so I could concentrate on this technology stuff. I put her out on the patio. She's been taken to the patio. But Mary has been wonderful in my life, and I take her for walks. We have a little routine, and she's just the most loving dog. And she's not the best behaved as far as like going exactly where I go when we go on a walk. You know, sometimes the leash ends up around my ankle and that sort of thing. But she's been a lot of fun, and I feel like I've quite a bit of growth on technology this week, and done a little bit of getting ready to do some planting in my garden. I love to do herbs, and Francis, thank you for your lettuce that you brought over. I have great neighbors. Bart Roderick, who some of you know I play with, brought me eggs today, and Fran. We've got like this little line of distribution with good stuff, you know.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I know some of you have been planning. Judy, have you been planning?
Well, I have, I teach third grade, so we have always planted seeds with the kids inside of a cup, just a traditional, and they watch them grow and they chart the growth. But this year, because I've had so much time at home, I have started petunias from seed, geraniums from seed. So just a couple other plants from seed. My garden is not quite ready yet to plant things in.
Yeah,
But, yeah, a lot of things from seed that I'm just able to watch them grow. So that's been really, really interesting.
Yeah, Bart Roderick brought over with the eggs some lettuce starts for me to plant in my planters here. I love being able to just go out and pick out a few leaves of lettuce, and I love to make pesto, so I like to grow basil. I'm not a big gardener anymore. I don't have a big chunk of land now, you know. But anyway, what else has everyone been doing? Anne, I know you've been busy with, oh my gosh, she set up a Google Classroom, and my principal is like, Rondi, just slow down. You're going to overwhelm the parents. You know, I've been giving kids things to do, but she's all set up. When we go to like this big Google Classroom format with the 4 different areas, she's going to be really a true leader for all the rest of us that have to get this going a little bit faster. So,
Well, I did a Google Classroom for my intermediate kids, and then I did a just page for my primary kids. Some of the music teachers have been doing YouTube videos, and Ronnie, you've done some.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of.
Yeah, it's been quite a change. I made phone calls yesterday and left several messages, and then I got to talk to some of my, because I teach through 5 like Ronnie, so I have the whole school, and I got to talk to some of my favorite kids. Because we kind of chose some of the at-risk kids because we want to make sure that they are kept in contact a lot. And some of the at-risk kids are my favorites, and so I called a couple of them, and what I have a boy, and I said, I believe you're going to be a 5th grader next year, you know, and so just tried to be positive about the future with them, talk about, hey, your teacher's one of these people, what do you think? And
Yeah.
And tell them I miss them.
Francis is working with special ed kids too in different schools. And we have unusual jobs where Cindy has more of a one single classroom, and Judy has more of a. It says your name is Rich Lozano, by the way.
Oh, yeah. This is Rich's computer.
Yeah, and Alice, the same thing, a little bit different. We all have this whole situation. The last month and a half has taken us all a little bit of emotional time to kind of settle into the reality of how to do our jobs. And so I really don't want to talk the whole time about teaching and all that. I want to talk about wine and food and stuff, but it is cool to know, other things that we're doing. I'm sure most of us are dealing with trying to figure out how to get food into the house in a safe way. I'm a huge fan of Instacart, but it's a different life. And right now, what we're doing in our separate houses, so relaxing. And even though the technology totally stresses me out, I like this because it's something we can do where we share some wine, share some food, and we learn a new recipe maybe. Either you like it or you don't. It doesn't matter to me. If you really don't and you hate it, then, just be quiet. Be nice. But anyone else done anything this week that was kind of a positive thing besides going for beautiful walks? Maybe somewhere. Alice turned me onto a new place to go with Mary. That was fun to learn about, going to Cottonwood with my dog. And the Greenway, I go to the Greenway. If it's in an off time, I'll go to Cowiche Canyon. How about you guys? Are you walking somewhere?
Tim got his bicycle ready. He's got new brakes, so we'll be going for bike rides.
Nice. Yeah, and there's lots
We
of
were doing some hikes up over at the Conservancy area, over the Single Track Alliance, over kind of off of Rocky Top Road. Now that I snakes are out, I will not be going anymore because I don't like snakes.
Like what? I was trying to say.
Snakes are. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't do snakes.
Some of you know that I actually used to have a fishing business out on the Klickitat. And so I actually lived amongst the rattlesnakes down there when I was younger and tougher. But I guess it's just, you just get used to, if you just stay on the trail and you kind of stay out of the shady log things that you step over, you just got to be careful.
How many years did you have the rattlesnake here?
You shouldn't be scared to go out and take a walk. It's all right. Usually they like to move around when it's kind of not too hot and not too cold. So if you just go kind of in between the times, you have less of a chance of seeing a snake. Although I'm sure Mary will figure it out how to get into a bush and get me in trouble. Alice found a tick on my dog the other day, and I went, "What? A tick? Oh no!" We had to deal with how to deal with getting a tick out of a dog's fur. First couple days I had her. That's the little excitement we've got around here, which is good. We're all staying healthy, right? Everybody staying healthy?
Exactly. Trying to get as much wine as I can to stay healthy.
Without going into a long story, we've had a rattlesnake in our house.
Oh, do that. Oh, no.
We're at 80th and Summitview and left the door open, and somehow a rattlesnake came inside and scared us. And
Friends looking around.
Oh my gosh. Did I say I was going to come someday visit your house? I don't know.
yeah, maybe not.
Yeah.
Well, you took it and turned it
We
loose.
had a
off of
bull
you.
snake in our house once.
No.
Yeah, bull snakes are not bad, but you live out where there's actually scorpions out there. You be careful.
We have lizards too.
One year, before our house fire, we were out on the front porch, and there was a scorpion, little one, just a teeny one.
We've got they're the little white wind scorpions here. We've had one of those in the house.
Huh.
That's the only time I've ever seen a scorpion, but I know that they exist out here.
I want to do a shout out though to Fran and Alice. I don't know if the rest of you have done any of this, but I'm aware of Alice and Francis have been making masks, a lot of masks. I don't know how many, but I appreciate contributing. I do not sew. Everybody likes to laugh at me because I do not sew. I do have a family that got COVID that are friends of mine, and I cooked a lot of food for them. That was my contribution. So, Alice, you want to tell me a little bit
Okay, Ronnie?
about how you?
Are you doing okay? Your friends?
Oh, your friends are okay.
You're okay. I'm just talking too much.
No, I said, are your friends with COVID doing okay?
Oh, I see. Yes, they're all four coming out of it. The father and the son worked at Memorial Hospital, and the father was in the hospital for 10 days. He was sent home still with a fever, still not well, finally broke the fever and got over it. The son recovered, the daughter got it, and then my friend, childhood friend, got it. And she worked at the hospital too, and she was tested, and the test came back negative. And I went, really? Kind of surprised me. So I don't know. I'm hearing, I don't know, that the test is not always reliable. There's some false positives on those tests. Kind of doesn't make sense to me that that didn't come back positive. But, you know, she doesn't cook, and, you know, they were humble enough to accept my neurotic cooking behavior. Please let me give you food because I can't just make one little serving, you know. And they're recuperating, and I'm glad they've made it through, you know. And I'm sure, you know, it's good to hear stories of people recuperating through it, especially a whole family. Like,
Definitely.
I can't even imagine a whole family being sick. It would just be,
it was a struggle for them.
yeah, that's putting it mildly.
Yeah. So, but Frances, you sewed some masks. So tell us, like, who did you get hooked up with to give some away?
Well, that wasn't me. I was just putting them together, and actually, Tim actually helped too. I have 2 sewing machines, so he was running one sewing machine with my what do you call that thing? My walking foot. It had the walking foot on it, so it was easier to go over pleats. And it was Alice that came to pick them up and delivered them, I guess, to whoever that was that made the request. So then I made them for my family members, and I shipped those off. And I probably 3 or 4 I gave the neighborhood side of me, and so.
Alice, who did you give the mask to?
The mask that we did, which Fran helped with, actually went all over the state. I dropped out at about 450, and they're up to over 600 now. They're still going. It's my 2 sisters.
Thank you.
So yeah, there's still a great need for them.
That is amazing. Oh my gosh.
There's lots in town. The fire department, the police department, the health department, and several other agencies here in town.
That's so awesome. All I can do is cook for like one family, and look at you, touched 450 people. So way to go. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Something that's cool that we can see from our house, Rondi, are the Friday night lights over at the high school. Because they're coming.
Talk about that. I don't know. I really didn't know anything about that. What is that about?
It's for the grad class of 2020, so they turn them on at 8:20 for 20 minutes. And so they wanted people to take pictures of it. I'm not sure where you send the pictures, but it's just to show support for the kids that won't be able to have senior prom and all of the other festivities that go along with graduation. So it's kind of cool.
I can't imagine this being your senior year from high school.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm sad I don't have a couple of music gigs, but the poor high school kids not being able to have all the huge celebrations that they have is, well, hopefully they'll be able to do it at the end when we get in a situation where we can do it. Hope.